Sorry, I'm not sure if I'll do that again, but enjoy the silence. Depeche Mode, one of my favorite bands, and I'm kind of a synth geek in case you couldn't tell. I did want to talk about the power of silence today. Silence is a super powerful tool. It can be used for good, it can be used for evil. Make sure you're using it for good. Be aware of that it is a powerful tool and what you can expect when you use it. Remember back 100 years ago when I was in college and I took a sales class, and our professor talked to us about different closing techniques, how to close a sale. And one of the most powerful ones is you put the offer out there. I can sell this to you for this amount. And then you shut up. You keep your mouth shut. And what he told us was whoever talks first loses. And he would do things when he demonstrated this, like he was silent and he pretend he was going to talk, but he didn't. And it kind of prompted us to try to, as humans, try to fill that void. It's very uncomfortable. Would you buy this from me for $100? It's uncomfortable, right? That was a little weird, I know. Sorry, I just did that. But you get my point. In the sales world, that's a great technique. That's a wonderful thing. In the leadership world, you can also use silence, and there's that same human reaction. We want to fill that need. So let's talk about using it for good and evil. First off, as you come up and you're trying to become a better and better leader, one of the things that is a great technique is you observe the leaders that you find, as your idol, somebody that you really appreciate their style, and observe them and learn from them. And what I noticed is when executives were on calls that I really looked up to, they didn't talk a lot. They asked some probing questions, and they mostly listened. And then they would ask some other probing questions. And when it was appropriate, after people had said what they needed to say, especially at the beginning of a conversation, and I see this in leaders that I really admire. They start, the conversation, something went bump in the night, and there's a conversation, and you're trying to figure out what happened. And they'll ask, so Chris, what happened? And then I'll explain. And sometimes when people are explaining what went wrong, it's not a really clear timeline. Shut up. Let them talk. Let them get to the end. Let them get everything out that they want to say. And then you can offer your advice as a leader. Take in all the points of information. Don't assume that you know what happened. Don't assume. Listen. Take in what they say, process it, and then respond. That's a good use, right, for silence, is you ask questions, whether it's a sales question, whether it's something went wrong, you're trying to learn something, and you shut up. I've seen some bad uses, right, of silence or lack of silence. First is lack of silence. I've seen folks get in, salespeople especially, and they just talk. Da 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 da. I need you to know all these important points. Or somebody that's managing a project. I need you to know all these important things. But they talk over their client or whomever they're working with. They talk over what they're trying to say because I guess they feel like what they're trying to say is so important that they got to get it out there. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're missing a lot of opportunities. You're going to be more effective, and you're going to get to what you want to achieve more quickly if you listen first. The last one that I'll leave you with is another bad situation for silence. Those awkward pauses. I've seen this many times when something went wrong and your client asks. They ask you the question, and then there's the silence, and you don't answer quickly. In that case, you don't want the silence. They ask a question, what happened? Maybe what happened, what are you doing about it, and by when, if you watch my other video, right? Those questions, there shouldn't be, seconds of silence. There could be a momentary pause while you consider the question, what the response is. But if you go too long, then it sounds like you don't know. And then people start losing confidence in you. So it's a balance. You have to figure out when is silence a good thing and when is it a not so good thing. So I hope this helps and gives you some food for thought. Would love to hear some comments and stories from you in the comment section. What have you noticed with silence? How have you used it? Did it work well? Did it not go so well? Thanks. Have a great day. Hope this helps.